Hello, Christine Abrams here at Christine's Craft Table. Today I am sitting at my craft table, but you won't get to see me because we are looking at my computer screen. And what you are looking at is my Ravelry page. Today we are continuing to celebrate National Crochet Month, and by doing so, we are filming a video every day, or at least that's the goal, to cover a topic that was provided in a list by Ola Jo, the crocheting sailor. I don't know if she created the list, but she has put together this little challenge for us YouTubers, encouraging us all to make a video every day in the month of March. Today's topic is stash, and so I wanted to share how I track my stash. This is the online app called Ravelry, and it is a free app. You do get some ads on the side of your screen now and then, but that's fine, no big bother. And here is my page. So I want to share how wonderful this app is because I find it invaluable, and I use it to track not only my stash but my projects because they kind of go together. Here under notebook, you can click on your stash and it brings you to this page, and this is where I have entered every single one of my yarn purchases, well, ever since August of 2022, and I log them in, and then I'm able to see them at any time and able to select them from here for projects, get ideas just by browsing through my stash. And it is wonderful. So let's go through and just show you some of the benefits of this little page here. So first of all, there's different ways to view your stash. This is large photos that you're looking at. We also have smaller thumbnails, and you'll see noted at the bottom of each of these is the number of yards you have remaining available for projects, which is very useful. And the last way to look at them is as a list. Here you see all the details that you've entered. Well, not all the details, but quite a few of the pertinent ones. Name, colorway, weight, yardage, grams, skeins, total yards, and remaining yards, which is a very important column. And then any comments that you've entered in the comment section. We'll go back to my favorite view, and I'll just show you what is in one of these. Let's choose a more colorful yarn here. Okay, so here you have the picture that I took. I usually only take one, and it's just super quick sitting at my desk. The name, the weight, how much I stashed, what's remaining, and you can adjust that manually if you need to. Where I purchased it, purchase date, how much I paid. I put down die lots just in case I want to know that at some point. The color, and here Ravelry enters a project that I used this for. So if I had used the same yarn for the same skein of yarn for several projects, they would all be listed here. So I've used 9 yards of this scheme for this project, and I could click on that project and it will take me to the actual project. So back to my stash. Here you can stash more of the same yarn if you want to. Here are the details about the yarn. One of the great things about putting your yarn in here as well is when you enter a yarn, let's just go through, oops. I was entering a yarn for the first time, this is the screen that comes up. So you choose where you bought it at. Well, this isn't the actual screen because you're not able here to change this, but it's because I clicked on add more. But here I entered the name. When you first enter the name, Ravelry tries to match it to the thousands of yarns that it already has in the system. So if it finds that particular name, it'll put in a lot of the details for you. And so that saves you a lot of data entry. This is the next screen that does come up. And here's where you add your photos, your colorway. I think you choose the closest color because you have the option to view your stash by colors. And so if it doesn't recognize, if there's a strange name, how we get some strange names in our yarns. If you choose the closest color, then it can sort by that and bring you up the closest thing. Here's the yardage, how many skeins you bought. Again, the store, purchase date, total paid. I find that useful if I'm calculating how much I'm spending on a project. Die lot, tags. Tags is really useful. It's also a field that you have when you do projects because then you can enter your hashtags and people can search in Ravelry and anything that comes up with that hashtag will bring up other people's projects or your projects. That is really cool. And then notes, if you want to add any notes. So here, Ravelry would have found that skein of yarn and would have entered all of this for me already. This I love. It shows that there's 11,249 projects from other people that have used the same yarn. So a lot of times you buy a yarn, you don't know what to do with it. Well, you can come here for ideas on how to use that yarn. And it doesn't just have that color way. It has many different colorways in that same yarn. So great for ideas. Also, it shows you how many people have stashed this yarn in their stash. So a lot of times, not a lot of times, but a few times, people have contacted me because they've seen a particular yarn in my stash that they were looking for. Say it's discontinued or they started a project and ran out and can't finish it. And they found it in my stash and asked me if I was willing to sell it. And I said, sure. So I sold a few skeins of yarn that way and was happy to do so. I think there's probably a way to make your stash private so people cannot see it, but I don't care about mine, so I didn't look for it, but I think there's probably an option to do that. Don't quote me on that. I guess I would definitely check that out if you want to keep your stash private before you go to all the work of entering it. And anyway, that is all the detail you can enter. And one more thing I'll show you on this, which I love. These are my projects, but when you start a project, it gives you a place to enter the yarns you're going to be using. And instead of entering them from scratch, you just go down and you choose, sorry, this one has a lot of yarn I'm using. You can say use stashed yarn and it takes you to your stash and then you just click on use for all the ones that you're going to use in that project and it will enter them into the project. Again, it's this wonderful, I don't want to say point of sale system, but that's what I'm thinking about, where you use it up in the project and it's updating your stash at the same time. So, when you're close to running out, or that was a bad project to choose because it's all my granny squares. Okay, here's a better one. So this is one of my whips and I've chosen 3 yarns to use in it. And so it pulled those up out of my stash again. And then if I go to this yarn in my stash, the 964 yards left. It'll show me that project that it's committed to. So again, great tool, great tool. I love this, and I can't say enough good things about it. I hope you will check it out, Ravelry.com. Again, it's free to sign up. A little bit of work up front, but totally worth it in my opinion. And I will show you a couple of pictures at the end of this video of how I actually keep my stash. And it's nothing exciting. They are in bins in my walk-in closet, and I usually have them covered, but I opened them all up and turned them on their side to use them as a backdrop for video, a couple of videos that I've made. But that's how they are kept, and I honestly don't even go to the bins until I've decided to use a yarn because of having Ravelry and this wonderful tool to look at the yarn online. One of the things I've done, which I love, is while I'm shopping, I can pull this up on my phone and see what yarn I have. If I'm considering buying a yarn and I'm not sure if I already have it, I can check my stash right there at the store and know if I need it or not. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.